Topic: Principles. Incremental principle, time perspective and discounting, Equi marginal principles. Time perspective principle. Principle: a decision by the firm should take into account of both short-run and long-run effects on revenues and cost and maintain the right balance between the long-run and short-run.
So, in economics, there will be two types of time perspective, long run and short run. Short run mostly will be less than 1 year. If it's more than 1 year, so we can say long term.
Discounting principle. What is present value, PV? The current value of a future sum of money or stream of cash flows given a specified rate of return. Future cash flows are discounted at the discount rate, and the higher the discount rate, the lower the present value of the future cash flows.
What is present value? In our own language, present value, like we want to know how much will be equals today if we want to invest our money for some period in future. Let's say nowadays we have $1,000 and we are going to invest for 2 years in some company with some rate. So we have to consider, will we get profit or we might get loss? We have to know the present value before we decide to invest. So that is the present value.
PV formula and calculation.
Now, how to calculate present value? Present value we will get by future value divided by open bracket 1 plus R. R refers to rate of return, close bracket, and N is refers to the number of period. There will be two ways to calculate present value. First, we can use that formula, or the second one, we can use table. How to use tables? Let's go to the next slide.
Suppose you are depositing an amount today in an account that earns 5% interest compounded annually. If your goal is to have $5,000 in the account at the end of 6 years, how much must you deposit in the account today?
Okay, this is the example how we can get present value. First, let's use formula. From this question, we have to find future value. How much future value? In this case, future value equals with $5,000. And how about interest rate? In this case, 5% interest rate, right? And then, how long they will invest that money? It says 6 years. So what is the formula to get present value? Present value equals future value divided by 1 plus R, close bracket, the power of N, and the number of period. So we already know future value, we will get $5,000. 1 we cannot change, this is a part of formula, so we always have to use 1 plus R. R refers to the interest rate, say 5%. 5% equals with 0.05. Why? 5% means 5 divided by 100. So we will get 0.05. Close bracket 6. 6 is the number of period because they will invest for 6 years. So have to put 6. Here present value equals with $5,000 divided by 1 plus 0.05 and then close bracket 6. $5,000 divided by 1.3401. So we will get $3,731. Now let's check if we use table. Will it give us same result or different result? From table, we have to focus on the number of period and interest. From that case, we already know number of period is 6 years. So we have to focus on number 6. And then the rate is 5%, right? So good interest focus on 5% and the number of period 6. We will get number 0.746. And now how to get the present value? We will get present value by future value times the number we get from the table. Future we get already $5,000 into 0.746. So we will also get 3,731. The result supposed to be same.
Self-assessment task 1. Question number 1. Suppose you are depositing an amount today in an account that earns 5% interest compounded annually. If your goal is to have $5,000 in the account at the end of 6 years, how much must you deposit in the account today? Question number 2. Let's say you have the choice of being paid $2,000 today or $2,200 1 year from now. You also have the option of investing the $2,000 that'll earn a 3% rate of return over the next year. Which is the best option? Marginalism principle. Utility and marginal utility. Utility, the satisfaction received from consumption.
In our own language, we can say utility is our happiness after we consume a product or services. Let's say we spend our money to buy new clothes. So after that, we will feel happy because of the new clothes. So that is the utility in economics, our satisfaction, our happiness. That is the meaning of utility.
Marginal utility, the additional utility derived from the consumption of one more unit of the good or service. The marginal utility gained from the consumption of a product tends to fall as consumption increases. This aspect of consumer behavior is referred to as the law of diminishing marginal utility. As consumption increases, there may actually come a point where marginal utility is negative, indicating dissatisfaction or disutility.
Already know utility is our satisfaction, our happiness. Now, marginal utility means additional utility that we will get if we consume one more product or services. If we are talking about marginal utility, we will also talk about the law of diminishing marginal utility. The law of diminishing marginal utility means if we consume one more product in some point, our utility might be decreased, not increased. Now, for example, after jogging, we'll feel thirsty and we really want to drink water. After we get water, first time we drink the water, we will feel normal. But second one, we will start to feel more heavy than the first one. The third one, that is the maximum satisfy we might get. Because after that, if we drink too much, we might need to go to toilet. So that means our utility already decreased. That is the diminishing law of marginal utility. In some point, our satisfaction, our utility of consuming that product will be decreased. That is the diminishing of marginal utility. Let's check the table. So we will know how it works properly.
As the number of workers increases, the marginal product declines. This concept is known as a diminishing return and is often referred to as the law of diminishing returns.
From the table, we can see when number of workers is 0, so no total product because no one is working here, so no marginal product, no average product. Now, the number of workers increase from 0 to 1. So, total product also will be increased to 100, from 0 to 100. How about marginal product? Marginal product also will be increased from 0 to 100. Average product. How to get average product? Average product, total product divided by number of workers. So we will also get 100. So now let's go to the number of workers. If there are 2 workers, again we can see total product is increased from 100 to 180. How many marginal product? 100 minus 180, we will get 80. How about the average product? Average product 180 divided by 2. So we will get 90 and so on. Now how to draw the curve? So we have to put number of output into the vertical axis and number of workers into the horizontal axis. So it will show like in this picture.
Self-assessment task 2. Table beside shows the total utility gained from the consumption of lemonade in a week. A. Calculate the marginal utility as the quantity consumed increases. B. Sketch the total utility and marginal utility curves. Put utility on the vertical axis, quantity consumed on the horizontal axis. Equi marginal principle. In considering the consumer's equilibrium, it is necessary to remember that it is assumed that consumers have limited incomes, behave in a rational manner, and seek to maximize their total utility.
In the last 2 sessions, we already discussed as an individual, also we have limited resources, especially financial. To make choice to maximize our utilization. That is our purpose as a consumer. We want to maximize our utilization. So here in economics we know about Equi marginal principles. Here how to get the Equi marginal we will get by marginal utility product A divided by price of product B equals with marginal utility product B divided by price of product B. The result supposed to be same, so that will be equimarginal.
Example, if the marginal utility from consuming product A is 10 units and the price is $5, the consumer is in equilibrium when consuming 20 units of product B if its price is $10 and so on.
From the example, first we have to know how many marginal utility of product A. We will get 10 unit and price of product A is 5. So 10 divided by 5, we will get 2. How about product B? Product B, marginal utility is 20. And then the price is 10. So 20 divided by 10, also we will get 2. 2 equals 2. So it shows equimarginal principle.